to consider before you start investing. The first thing is, what is my investment goal? Why am I even investing? Am I investing for retirement? Am I investing so I can have a house in Banana Island? What is your investment goal? It needs to be defined. Am I investing because I just want to put my money and I want to get a certain amount of money at a period of time, so that is like short term? Or am I doing it for long term so that I can do something later on in future? Your investing goal must be defined. The next thing is, how would I feel if I lose all this money? You need to ask yourself that question, because investing is actually a risk, a very big risk. So if you lose the money, if you're just starting, I would say start small. I can remember when I started investing and I made a mistake the first time. I think I did like 60,000 naira in a particular investment, and I didn't get it back. Nothing happened to me because I put an amount that if I was to lose it, I won't feel anything. So irrespective of the fact that you're doing your research, if you are just starting out, there's every possibility that you might make a mistake. So start small, and from there you're able to learn from the mistakes. So you need to ask yourself, if I lose all this money, what happens? Okay, but there's also a case of, if you research very well, you don't necessarily have to lose the money. Okay, so what is my financial capacity at this moment? I can remember there was a time that MTN shares were really trending, and most people were like, oh, buy these shares, and people that did not invest at that time, they felt like they were losers in life. But you need to ask yourself, what is my financial capacity? Can I really afford this? Yes, it's investing in that particular thing is good, but I don't have the money. So next time will not be late, because there's always a good time to buy. Imagine if there was never a good time, then people that will invest in nearest future will not make it. So you need to be true to yourself. If there's an opportunity now to invest but you don't have the money, it doesn't mean there won't be another opportunity in the future. So can you afford to buy at this time? If you can't afford to buy, then wait for the future. There will be other opportunities. Have you done your research? So irrespective of, yes, there are investment clubs out there and they say, okay, invest in this particular stock or buy this particular crypto, you need to do your own research. I've seen situations whereby there are some investment clubs that will recommend a particular thing and it doesn't scale through. It's not their fault, because investing is a risk. So you need to do your own research to actually say, okay, I have done my own research. Because you're responsible for your own money, really. So you need to do your own research and be confident that, okay, this is what I should invest in. And there's also this thing of intuition. Most times when we want to invest in a particular thing, we have this intuition that, oh, this thing we want to invest will not work out. I can remember when I invested in that particular asset class. As I was investing, I had second mind about it. I was like, this thing might not work. So there's this thing, people call it the God in us. There's this intuition that tells you, this thing I want to invest, it will most likely not work out. So follow your intuition, do your research, ask yourself, do I have spare cash to invest? If you don't have spare cash, then you don't need to put pressure on yourself. You need to know your personal roadmap. So define your personal finance journey, because let's say Peter's financial journey is not my own finance journey. So what is my personal finance journey? Currently, I'm on a particular stage. I am envisaging another stage. So you have to have a clear roadmap. Do it based on your own financial responsibility. Do it on your age. Do it factoring your age, factoring your own risk tolerance. Okay, so if I'm young, I can afford to invest in high risk assets if I can actually withstand everything that comes with that, because I have time on my side. Evaluate your risk tolerance. For some people, they don't like to. I've seen situations whereby some young people tell me that they are not even interested in crypto. Yes, it's the future of money, but they are not just interested. They rather just put their money in mutual funds, which is fine. Don't get pressure to do what other people are doing. Yes, they might be making money from it, but don't get pressured. Or if at all you want to do it, I would say give it to an expert that could, actually tell you, oh, do this or do that based on the person's experience. And also, you also need to do your own research, because you can't just leave it in the hands of experts. consider mixing your investments. It's not good to have just a particular asset class in your investment portfolio. I would say have a diversified portfolio. So have mutual funds, have crypto, have stocks, have different asset class. What this helps is that if a particular asset class is down, another one would mostly be up. So it helps to actually diversify your portfolio. The next thing is to maintain an emergency fund. Before you start investing, okay, you need to have an emergency fund. The reason why is because if you are investing and you don't have an emergency fund and an emergency happens, most time you see yourself dipping your hand into your investments to cater for that emergency. So build your emergency fund. Like I said, have an emergency fund between 6 to 12 months of your living expenses. So how do you calculate this basically? So let's say the amount of money you need to survive in a month is like 100,000 naira. That is your need. That's 100,000 naira times 600,000 naira. Have it in an emergency fund. So if there is an emergency, you can attend to that. Have that before you start investing. You need to pay off your debt first. Yes, I know some people say you can have debt and invest, but this depends on your money personality. For some people, they can't be in debt and invest. So I would say personally, pay off your debt first, then you can now move to investing. I mean, it's a stage, so you might not want to complicate things, but if you can mix up debt and investing, so be it. The next thing is to consider dollar cost average when buying stock. So for some people, they always say, oh, I want to buy at a low price, but I say that even if you are buying at a particular price that is not low but is okay, let's say you are buying Apple shares at 130 and you're like, oh, I want to buy when it's really low. The thing is, if you are buying at 130 now, the next time you might buy will be maybe when it's 120. So when you consider dollar cost average, it actually helps to reduce any loss. So you are buying at different entry price and everything will stabilize when you are calculating your profit.